Órale, Cholo, Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shouts to all the Chingones y Chingonas. Man, it feels great. I didn't realize it's been quite a while since we've done the show like this, back to it being normal, man. I've been out doing a couple of things, covering a couple of fights, but it's been a while since we've been back to a little normalcy. So it feels good to be doing it like this again. What's up, Demetrio? Well, hey man, we got the full crew right here, and there is too much to get into boxing and cover in 1 hour. But let's see if we could squeeze it in, man. Let's bring on a gran chingon, el mero mero one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey man, what a day to come back on the show, huh? Tomorrow night's card. I know we're gonna break it down, but dude, I mean, I know it's been a while, but what a day to talk about what we love the most, boxing. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
And, and what a day to bring back our camarada all the way coming back home from South America. We're talking about the boxing scientist from Mikey TV, one Mr. Mike Zavala.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? I'm back, man. I know I had to come back to the show. I was tired, but hey, the show must go on, man. All the way from Colombia, I'm back, big baby. Vámonos.
Hey, Mikey, you just flew in last night, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
The guy's a warrior. He's a warrior, man. What's up to
Viva
Demetrio?
Mexico.
Tony Boswell. So yeah, we got what's up, Anthony Bravo? So yeah, man, we got a heavy card to break down tomorrow. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of news that's going around in the boxing world. We'll start with a very controversial one, just real quick. Want to get everybody's thoughts and opinions. I'm not really too into the Olympics too much. I do watch a little bit here and there. Everybody knows what's been going on in the boxing world in Olympics. I'll start with you, David. So there's two dudes that identify as women, and they're out there and they're beating up on chicks, man. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, David?
You know, I tried to do some research when it came out, but everything that I'm reading contradicts itself. You know what I mean? So I'm not in a position. I mean, if they are men, shame on them. Shame on the boxing Olympic or the Olympic Boxing Commission. That should have never have happened. But I don't know enough about it to give my professional opinion. You know what I mean? If they are definitely men, or their chromosomes XY, XX, or do they have a dick or they don't? You know what I mean? I don't know enough, so I can't give you an answer. If they are men, shame on them. You know what? That should have never happened. Hopefully, it will never happen again. But I don't know enough to give you an honest professional opinion.
Fair enough. Fair enough. One, Mr. Mike Zavala.
Yeah, Dave, Ed, we talked about that. We touched about this controversial. I mean, man, if you're a man identifying as a woman, I'm for it. But you fight other men that identify as women, other trans men, and fight it. I'm down. I'll watch it. I'm down. But if you're a man, genetically, your bone structure's bigger, your muscles are bigger, and you fight a woman, you could hurt, you could kill somebody. Maybe if it would have been, even in volleyball, some dude, a male that identified as a woman, spiked the ball and gave a girl concussion, and she got really hurt. So even in other sports, man. But I'm with it. If you're a trans and you want to compete versus other trans, why not? I'm down. But if you're a man identifying as a woman and you're fighting a woman, the bone structure is different. Genetically, you're stronger, everything, and you could kill somebody, and that's not cool, man. So, like I said, if you want to identify, you could compete versus other individuals that identify as such, and yeah, let's see it. I'm down, whatever. But that wasn't cool what this girl's going through, and she got hurt, and I don't agree with it, man. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Now, Mikey, did she get hurt or did she just quit? I mean, she never went down. I mean, she only got hit twice, and she quit. She quit. I mean, she never went down. I mean, did she get hurt?
Oh well, from what I've seen, she felt the punch. Yeah, she felt the power. Yeah, she felt the power, and she was like, "Dude, I can't. He's too strong. She's too strong, or whatever she identifies her." So yeah, she felt the power, man. This ain't no game. You know what I mean?
She said that. Yeah.
And when it comes to her, I think homegirls from Italy. There was also a Mexicana that got in there and got beat up. But the homegirls from Italy, the one that dropped to her knees and started crying, believe it or not, Jake Paul reached out to her. Jake Paul reached
Hmm.
out to her and said, "Hey, listen, I'd like to have you on one of my undercards." So hey, you know what? Kudos to Jake Paul. Demetro, I am subscribed to Homeboy's channel. I have not seen that video yet, man, but I know he's pretty spot on with his amateur stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I would know anything about the amateurs, man, because I really don't. Um, I look, I'll say this, man, and I don't keep it politically correct. I think it's straight out wrong.
It is.
Straight
It's
out.
wrong.
I do
Yeah.
think it's just straight out wrong. It's not right. However, there's two ways how I feel about this. One is it's wrong. The other one is where are all the women that are over there, oh man, women and women's rights and whatever thing. What comes to my mind is put one of these dudes in there with Clarissa Shields. That's basically what comes to my mind.
Well, are you
Clarissa
sure Clarissa Shields is Clarissa Shields or Clarence Shields?
Oh, Dave, come on, Dave, come on.
Oh,
What do you
Clarence
call it?
Shields. Clarence.
man.
Yeah,
But
we gotta.
that's one thing that comes to my mind. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, get one of these dudes and put him in there with Clarissa Shields, okay? Because she's really wanting that. But for amateur women that are fighting their whole lives to be on this big stage globally, this is wrong all the way
It
around,
is,
dog. It's just
without a
wrong
doubt.
all the way around. But oh well, man. This is everybody keep on keeping on in this super duper kooky la la land that this is right, and it's not.
Mhm.
It's not right. I will say this. I will say this because people say like, hey, you know what? The transgenders should have their own boxing. There's not enough. There's not enough transgenders. I think what is it? It's like a small percentage of the
Yeah.
world that's transgender. On top of that, the ones that want to be boxers. So I understand, but you know what? Life ain't fair, man. But this ain't right though. This ain't right. So anyway, gentlemen, moving on to some boxing, and I'm gonna be dropping a video about this next week as well. But I just wanted to touch with you guys, man. But moving on to some boxing cheeseman before we get into the big card tomorrow from Turkey a la Sheik, man, Riyadh season, and we're gonna break down the fights. Let's get into some of the news. Mikey, well, I'll leave Mikey for last. I'll go and I'll pass it to you, David. Here we are, man. Canelo, Edgar Berlanga. It is set. It is there for Mexican Independence Weekend, going head to head with the opening of the Sphere for them to have their event for the UFC, and it's against Edgar Berlanga. We don't know the rest of the card except for the co-main event of Danny Garcia and Islandi Lara. Two, notable names, but two guys that are way past their prime. I'm not really sure if anybody's that interested in those guys' career. I'll give my take, man. Look, it's another undefeated fighter, but I think Canelo's just way too. He's too skillful, too powerful, too strong, too everything. He's better than Berlanga in every way possible. However, I will say this. I will say this. I've seen the movie Rocky. Okay. Nobody gave Rocky a chance. I'm not talking about Rocky Part 2. I'm talking about Rocky Part 1. Okay. Apollo Creed was the guy. And here comes this dude from Philadelphia, Berlanga. This is your Rocky moment. This is your Rocky moment. You're going to have to fight for your life, Holmes. This is your Rocky moment. I'm kind of rooting for Berlanga to put up a good fight. I'm not rooting for him to win, but I'm rooting for him to put up a good fight. David?
Well, you're not rooting for him to win because that would be a miracle, and that's not going to be the miracle. You know what I mean? First of all, it's not Mexico against Puerto Rico. It's not.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I mean,
okay.
they're trying to sell it. Eddie Hearn, Mexico, Puerto Rico, dude. Don't even compare it, but they can. They could do whatever they want. It's up to us to watch it or not. You know what I mean? Is it going to sell out? Is all of New York, all the Puerto Ricans, all the Boricuas going to watch it? Of course not. You know what I mean? It ain't Mexico against Puerto Rico. You know, it's not. Is Mexico going to watch it? Of course they are. They love Canelo. No matter who Canelo fights, Mexico is going to watch. And we're going to watch. You know what I mean? We like Canelo. You know what I mean? But disappointing. Yes, but it's an easy fight. I mean, we saw with Floyd Mayweather all the time. It's a money grab. You know what I mean? He comes in, he makes his $30 million. It's a money grab. But you know what? Whose fault is it? It's ours. It's the fans. You know what I mean? It's the fans for buying it. But I think with this one, I don't think that it's going to break any records. I think it will break a record that the lowest pay-per-view numbers will be on this one. And especially so far, the undercard, Lara against Danny. Danny hasn't fought like in 4 years. You know what I mean? And Lara, dude, come on, man. I mean, tonight's fight, tomorrow's we're excited because look at the card. I don't see this card being great at all. Am I going to watch it? Yes. But are the normal fans going to watch it? No. I mean, common fans, Puerto Ricans, it's not Mexico against Puerto Rico.
I would say this, David. I think once upon a time, the Boricuas would have been very excited, but I
Oh,
think the
without a doubt. Yes.
because Berlanga, the Boricuas, generally speaking, at least in my opinion, believed in Berlanga. But as the competition stepped up with him, it seemed like the Boricuas started falling off and saying like, yeah,
Yes.
this ain't the
Without a
guy.
doubt.
This ain't the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
Mikey. Canelo is getting a lot of backlash, and the haters are out there, dog, chewing them up. How say one, Mr. Mike Zavala?
Yeah, man. I mean, Ed and Dave, man, you know who to blame. The one to blame is David Benavidez, man. The fight was supposed
Mm.
to come up next. He was a mandatory. All he had to do is petition for his mandatory status, and guess what he do? What he did? He went up. He stayed at 175. He didn't want the smoke. He didn't want the smoke. So what is Canelo going to do? If Canelo fights anybody other than David Benavidez, everyone starts to hate. So who's another fight Canelo should fight other than David Benavidez? He should have fought David Benavidez next, but David Benavidez stayed at 175. It's his fault. It's not Canelo's fault. So it's a money grab for Canelo.
Mikey, you know if Benavidez would have stayed at 168, Canelo was not going to fight him in September. You know that. I mean, you do know that, right? I mean,
Okay,
you're probably
okay.
wishful thinking. You do know that, right? You do know
I mean,
that.
if
Come on,
Canelo
Mikey.
the IBF stripped Canelo. They took his belt.
I know,
That's
but I'm
100%.
telling you. But you do know that even if he would have stayed, Mikey, you're a teacher. You have a degree. You're intelligent. Come on, man. You know, yeah, come on. You know Canelo wasn't gonna
At least
fight him in
listen to this,
September.
Dave. You gotta listen to this.
Come on.
At least this. If
He's
Canelo
gonna
didn't
fight
fight
him.
him, and if Canelo, they would have stripped Canelo, the IBF and the WBC. That's a duck. That's a duck.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
didn't they strip Canelo? That's all
I
you
don't
gotta
think
do.
I don't think he's ducking him, Mikey. I just think he wants 200 million. I think he's gonna get it probably in May. I mean, I don't think
Okay,
that
so
fight's over with. I think he's gonna come back,
Yeah.
but not right now in September. There's no way he was gonna do it. So
yeah,
I think they're gonna fight, but I think it's gonna be a $200 million. This
nah,
Aishi, whatever his name,
Dimitro.
will end up paying probably. I don't think he could duck him. No, I don't think he's ducking him. I just think
Nah,
he wants the
all
money.
Benavidez
He
had to
wants
do
the
was
money.
petition for his mandatory status, and they would have stripped Canelo from the WBC belt, and we would have been talking trash and all that. But Benavidez stayed at 175. What does that mean?
Okay. Okay. Let me throw this out there, man. Let me throw this. All right. It's true. Benavides. It's true. He could have activated his mandatory, and he chose not to. However, Mikey. However, if he activated his mandatory, that did not guarantee that fight was going to
No,
be made,
no.
man.
But they would have stripped him. They would have stripped him from the belt,
Okay.
and we would have been
Okay.
for sure
Mikey,
Canelo's a duck.
Mikey, you
Okay,
know
he's
for
right
a
about
fact
that.
they
He's right
wouldn't
about
have
that.
stripped him. I mean,
No,
Canelo's a moneymaker. Of course not. The IBF
the
stripped him
IBF
because
stripped him.
who's ever
Dave,
heard of the IBF? Who's ever heard of the IBF? WBC, dude. WBC never would have stripped him. Look at WBC with Charlo. 4 years. 4 years with Charlo. Did they strip him? Of
Uh,
course not. It's money.
uh,
It's money.
all right.
Come on,
all right.
Mikey.
So
You
who
have a
would
degree.
Canelo's second choice? Who would he? Who else he should have fought
David
instead of?
Morrell. David Morrell. I would have
He's a
loved to see him
175
fight David
pounder.
Morrell.
He's a
Uh,
He'll
175
get back
pounder.
just for this
uh,
fight. Just for this fight. He's a 168 pounder. Just for
No,
this
he's
fight,
fighting
he's a
at 75.
175.
He's fighting.
I
Is he
know.
fighting tomorrow?
Just for this fight. Just for this fight, he's 175. But he's a 168 pounder.
He's
Okay.
fighting
You know what?
tomorrow
Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah.
at
Yeah. He's
175.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just for
Okay.
this fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me throw it out to the chat, and let me throw it to you guys. If it wasn't David Benavidez, if Canelo's not fighting David Benavidez, Who does he fight at 168? David Morrell, he's at 175 and he's got to fight tomorrow. So we can't use him. And it's
My
not going to be
Billy,
David
my
Benavidez.
Billy, my Billy,
Okay.
French
Okay.
guy. I would have loved to see
Oh,
him. That
easy
French guy.
work.
He. I don't think he's as easy as Berlanga. Do you think? I think
Okay,
Billy would beat
I said on.
Berlanga.
I said on type. I said on.
You think so?
Yeah.
no, no. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I got an answer for you, David. I got an answer for
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I think Billy would be a tougher fight than Berlanga,
Me
but
too.
I think
Yes.
but I think Berlanga sells more. I
I
think
don't know.
Berlanga's more. I think he's
Yeah.
more popular. I think he sells more than Billy. And you know what? There is a question, right? There is a question. Who do you guys think sells more and is more popular, Benavides or Berlanga?
Oh, dude, Benavides.
You think so,
Oh, of course, man. Dude, Benavides
Mikey?
is famous. Just because Mikey doesn't like him, calls him
No, the numbers don't lie,
Benachichis.
Dave.
Dude,
I
I'm
don't
telling you,
know. I don't
Benavides.
know.
Numbers don't lie, Dave. Like,
Everybody wants Benavides. Everybody's calling for
Oh,
Benavides. Everybody's calling for Benavides.
I'm okay, David.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that, and I'm not agreeing with Mikey. I'm with you on that. When they talk about Canelo, they want Benavides.
yeah,
But I'm just asking. I'm not. I think Benavides is a better fighter than Berlanga. I
of
do.
course. Yeah,
I'm just asking who's more popular, Benavides or Berlanga. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't.
I say Benavides. I say Benavides is.
maybe in the West Coast,
Okay.
but Benavides doesn't sell. His pay-per-view numbers speak for itself. In Arizona,
Yeah.
he didn't sell. Munguia sold more than Arizona. Benavides' hometown. It's like,
Ooh.
what are his pay-per-view numbers? Let's compare them to Berlanga's, and let's compare their numbers, and they're probably even the same.
I
Berlanga
don't.
has a
I don't
country
think
behind him.
Berlanga. I don't think Berlanga's ever had a pay per view.
I don't know. I gotta check. But
No,
He
I don't think
his
so.
numbers
Hey,
is
hey, he's about to. He's about to. He's about
yeah,
to sell out.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, check this out. Hey, fellas, we gotta keep it moving, man. Man, we'll talk about this as the date gets closer. We'll talk about it. The idea that the fact that they're going up against the UFC. We'll talk about all that. We got to get to this card, but before we get to this card, a story that's flying under the radar, and let's touch on it real quick. I don't hear many people talking about it. Jaime Munguia has signed to Top Rank co-promotion. Um,
Mm.
the lawyer came out and said like, oh, it's just for one fight. But I saw different reports, and it
me
said that
too.
he signed a multi-fight deal. I didn't
Yes.
see an exact number, but he said it said multiple platforms that it said multi-fight deal, and you got the lawyer saying, oh, it's just for one fight. But I don't get it. If it's just for one fight, why? And he's already set to fight September 20th on ESPN through Top Rank as co-promotion. David, your thoughts? Because I think Munguia, with Canelo gone, with Ryan Garcia going through what he's going through, an active Golden Boy fighter, when you were talking about big star, I think Munguia might be the biggest star Golden Boy has or had. So what's your thoughts on this, David?
I agree with you. You know what? Golden Boy has not promoted him, has not promoted Camaron well. I mean, look at Camaron, Virgil Ortiz. I mean, he has not promoted. Virgil Ortiz is fighting next week. Are we
Yeah,
seeing anything? Are we hearing anything? Of course not. So Golden Boy, I'll tell you, when they got rid of what's his name, Diaz, what's
Roberto
his name?
Diaz.
Roberto
Joel,
Diaz.
was it?
Yeah,
I know
Roberto.
Roberto Diaz. Roberto. Yeah, I know he wasn't. He was their matchmaker, but dude, he would talk about it. He would tweet it. He would be on social media. We're not hearing nothing about Virgil Ortiz. That's a huge fight next week with Virgil Ortiz. So you know what? These guys are starting to see that Golden Boy. Yeah, Oscar comes on Slap Thursday. Oscar comes on with little bikini briefs. But is he pushing Munguia? Is he pushing Camaron? Is he pushing Virgil Ortiz? Who's he pushing? You know who he's pushing? The nutcase. You know what I mean? He's pushing the
yeah,
nutcase. Who's the nutcase? Ryan.
Garcia.
That's who he's pushing. Garcia.
yeah.
So I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Hey, time to leave. I'll tell you, if he's not well known yet throughout the world, Top Rank is going to make Munguia, if he starts winning again, very well known, being in Top Rank. And that's what he said when they interviewed him. I want the world to know who I am now. He said that in one of his interviews. So I think it's a good move. I hope he stays there.
Yeah, Mikey, this story is flying way under the radar due to everything that's going on in boxing. Munguia signs a multi-fight deal with Top Rank, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy because Golden Boy got him a big bag. He got him one of the biggest fights of his career. Whatever they did, no matter what, they gave him the Canelo fight. No matter how slow it took him, he got it before Benavidez. He got it before anybody that we talk about, before Crawford. He got the Canelo fight. So whatever strategy they used, hey, he still got the biggest fight of his career, the biggest bag of his career, and the biggest exposure of his career. So man, who does Top Rank have? What 68 pounders do Top Rank have? I got to really think about it, but it's Matchroom, right? And Golden Boy that really has the 168ers or Matchroom, no, or the Zone type. So I'm wondering what moves are they gonna make, and they're gonna cross promote for sure because there's big fights. There's a lot of 168 pounders, and man, Top Rank's not bad, man. Top Rank's not bad if you really want to think about it. And they just not get you one more thing. They don't get you for one fight. They get you
No.
for multi fights. They're
Yeah.
known for that.
Yeah, yeah. So the Lauria could keep coming with the slap Thursdays, talking about like, oh, it's just one fight and that's it. He's just
Yeah.
gonna go over there and fight one
He's
time and that's
lying.
it. I don't know. That doesn't even make sense.
Mm.
For what? Why? And Turkey Al Sheik just got two promotions. I think Top Rank and I believe Golden Boy
Golden Boy, yeah.
under his belt. Yeah. So we'll touch on that another day. But let's go ahead and speaking of Turkey Al Sheik. Man, gentlemen, we got a stacked card tomorrow. Son of a gun, man. This is badass and a half. It is sold out according to Turkish Al Sheikh. And I'm not really even so sure that's the main event that's selling this out. Maybe there's some other good fights on here. So Jared Big Baby Anderson is fighting Bacoli. Nobody really knows Bacoli too much. I was looking into him. He's actually bigger than Baby Anderson. Baby Anderson, he's starting to make a name for himself. Heavyweight. He's the guy that says he doesn't love boxing. He's going to quit when he turns 26 or 27, and he is out of there. So Bacoli, people are saying that Bacoli might beat him. Mikey, what's your thoughts on this fight?
To tell you the truth, Ed and Dave, this one I really didn't pay much attention to it. I mean, it should be a good fight, man. They're talking a lot of trash to each other from the little cuts I've seen, but I haven't paid too much attention to this fight. It went under the radar for me, keeping it 100.
Yeah. David, you interested in seeing Big Baby Anderson?
Guys, before I answer that question, is it just me reading this, or is this probably one of the best cards ever? I mean, is it just me looking at this? I mean, look at all the past fights in the 70s. I mean, look at who. I mean, Andy Cruz. I mean, Andy Cruz. He's a future world. I know he only has 3 fights, but he's training. I don't know if you know that Boots Ennis' father's his trainer, and this Andy Cruz, he's Cuban, but he fights like a Mexican. That fight against Antonio Moran, that's a great. David Morrell against his hot rod. I mean, look at the card, man. You know what I mean? Starting from the very beginning. I mean, this guy, Steve Nelson, never heard of him, Slayad, but starting with Andy Cruz, David Morrell, Jared Anderson, Andy Ruiz, and then it keeps going on. I mean, look at this card, man. You know what? Thank you, Mr. Sheik, or whatever your name is. Gracias. Mil gracias de todo corazón, because you know what? And then it's in your backyard. It's not even in Vegas, dude. I mean, it's in LA. I mean, man, talking about being at this fight, you know what I mean? I couldn't fly down, but I wish I would have, because this is one of those fights. But instead, I'm going to watch it here and I'm going to enjoy it, because this is a card of cards. Going to your question, you know what? I think that might just be you know me, I'm not a Jared Anderson fan. I'm not. I know you like him, Ed. I mean, you're always talking about, Baby Anderson. I'm not a big fan. I think he might get exposed on this one. If not, I think he's definitely going to get hit. He's 6'4". This guy's 6'6". I think he's coming in at 245 or something. This guy's coming in like at 310. This guy's huge, very big guy. I mean, I don't think he's going to knock him out. I just, I'm hoping it's a good fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
Me, 50-50. I could go either way. I don't know enough about this guy Bacoli. I know that his brother is a world champion at cruiserweight. I know that he comes from a boxing family, but I'm not really excited about that one, but it's a good fight because it's going to be a slugfest, and one of them is going to go out 50-50.
I, I'm excited for this fight because I think Anderson is going to get tested like he's never been tested. He's
I
actually
hope
going to be
so.
he's going to be the smaller guy,
Yeah.
taking punches coming down to him while he's going to have to be punching up. So this is really going to test Anderson to see what's up with this, see what his future, what lies ahead in his future. David Morrell is fighting in this card in a 12-round light heavyweight fight, man. Um, I can't pronounce the dude's name
Hot,
that he's
hot rod.
fighting.
Hot rod. They call him hot rod.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking at his last name, Kalazik or something like that. But this dude's got a lot of he's got much more experience, professional experience. David Morrell, this is only gonna be his 11th fight, and his first fight at 175. David, what do you make of this?
You know what? I'm excited to see him at 175. But David Morrell has already said that this is a one fight, and he will go down to 168 to fight Canelo. He said, I'll go down to 168 fight Canelo, but if Canelo doesn't give me the fight, I want the winner of Bivol and Peter Beef. And he also yesterday called out David Benavides again at 175. So this is going to give him a vacant WA regular light heavyweight title belt. It'll put him closer at 175 to fight one of the champions. I mean, it's a fake belt, but it'll put him closer. Oh, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, Andrew, that's a good topic on that one.
Hey,
Yeah,
why no? I'm not sure when the main card starts. I know the pre-show starts at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The pre-show, and they're making a whole show out of it. Eminem's going to perform and all that good
yeah.
stuff. Mikey, David Morrell, first fight, 175. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is his first fight at 75. He really wasn't a 168 pounder. I believe he couldn't make that weight anymore. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. So
Yeah.
at 175, let's see how he looks. Let's see the punch transition. We see when Benavides looked normal versus a guy his size.
Yeah.
So he's really fighting a big guy, 175. And let's see if his power transitions, then he's a problem at 175. Bebo better be if David and the rest of the top 175s. There's a new name in town. You know what I'm saying? At 175. So I want to see him. I really don't know a lot of his opponent, but from what I've seen and all that, I never heard of this guy. So I think it is a showcase type of fight to see where he's at 175. So if he does shine, there's a problem because he has skills. He's a Cuban southpaw, big guy, and he goes for knockouts. So I want to see what he does because we saw with Benavides, he looked normal. See if this guy looks normal at 175, or he looks like a
Yeah.
monster.
Now Morrell has been calling out Benavides, and I think this is good for Morrell because he gets some more exposure because he's been fighting at the Armory in where is it?
Minnesota.
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been fighting over there. A lot of his fights have been over there, so this would be really good exposure for him. So this is his time to shine, man. If he wants to be known like that, this is your time to shine, Morrell. Go out there, put on a classic, man. Get your knockout, look good, look great. And when the mic comes to you at the end of the fight, you've been calling out Benavides. Now you're on a grand stage to be doing that. So, don't let the moment be too big for you, man, because it's going to be it's a sellout crowd. It's a soccer field. It's a soccer field where,
Is it really a soccer field?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an
Wow.
outdoor
Inglewood, huh?
soccer field. No,
Wow.
no, no. Shoot.
Inglewood, no?
Where the LAFC play.
Okay. That's in Inglewood, no? I think that's in Inglewood, right?
No, that's in no. That's
Varsity?
by USC. By USC.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your time to shine, Mr. Morrell, man. Look good. You're getting the
Yeah.
exposure. Go out there, get it. And after you've been calling Benavides out, that's your time to call them out and put on a grand stage to make that happen at 175. So That'd be good to see, guys. Let's get to the meat on the bone, man. That everybody's been talking about these next
Andy
few
Reese
fights.
against Miller. That one, Andy Reese against Miller. Is it
We
that
could
one?
get to, yeah, yeah, that's one definitely. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
let's
the
get
meat
to
on the
that one.
bone?
Let's get to
Yeah,
that one.
no,
Let's get to
that's
that
the
one.
meat on the bone for sure, dude. A
Yeah,
lot of meat.
That's the name of it. That's the name of it. I think it just changed names recently.
yeah.
That's the name
Okay.
of the stadium. Yeah, it's a soccer field.
Wow.
The Galaxy plays in Carson, but everyone else, yeah, they should. So that would be Morel's chance. All right. So yeah, let's talk about the two heavyweights, man. Uh, the real big baby, freaking Miller, shoot, against Andy Ruiz. Man, I like this fight.
Me
I
too.
like this fight, but Miller is coming off of a loss, and Andy has not fought since he fought Luis King Kong Ortiz. I was at that fight. That was back in 2022. I think the beginning of
Yeah,
2022.
2022.
So it's been a long time, man, since he's been in there. And Miller, he's a big dude. He lost significant weight since his last fight, and his last fight wasn't that long ago. So I like this fight, man. Mikey, what do you make of these heavyweights?
Yeah, man, those gordos, two big dudes. They look like they're in shape. Uh, I like this fight. This fight's interesting, man. Inactive Andy Reese and a guy that's coming off a knockout that's got caught with steroids and didn't make weight. So both guys, uh, they look fat in some of their fights, but they bang. So uh Miller comes up with a high guard. He's gonna walk Andy down. He comes at like 300 pounds, whatever, and he's gonna walk Andy down. Andy needs to use his jab and fight him in the mid range. If it
Yeah.
goes in the inside and he got the high guard, he's gonna get chopped down. Uh, Andy Reese does get hit and he does get dropped. He's been hurt. We see him get dropped numerous times and get hurt. So he has to be careful and keep the fight in mid range. Throw your combinations, step to the side. Throw your combination, step to the side. And if he hurts him, yeah, he's gonna sleep Miller. But if he doesn't, Miller's gonna chop him down and have that high guard and just walk him down, walk him down. It's gonna be a good fight. So I'm gonna go Andy Reese, but I like this fight. They're gonna talk shit. They're already talking shit. It's gonna be an exciting fight, man. I like this fight. Oh yeah,
Yeah. David, I think Andy Ruiz is a better boxer, but he hasn't boxed in a while. And even that, even since 2022, it's not like he was active before then. He's only fought two times since his loss to Anthony Joshua. What's your thoughts on Andy Ruiz going in there against Miller?
How did he look to you physically and boxing style 2 years ago when he fought King Kong? You were there? How did he look to you, Ed?
I, I thought he looked confident. I thought he looked good. I thought it was him coming back to the sport and saying like, okay, I'm back. I'm here. I'm gonna do some damage. But then he disappears. So I'm not saying that he looked like an elite fighter because in reality nobody really knew who he was too much until he upset Anthony Joshua, and after that he just kind of started going downhill. I did see a fight before he fought Anthony Joshua in Carson, when that's when he started doing the whole Snicker thing that he's eating Snickers before every fight. But I mean, I thought it was a coming out party for him to say like, "Hey, I'm back. I'm back in boxing, and I'm gonna try to make it to the top." But I'm not really sure what it is with Andy, man. I don't think he wants to be boxing. Maybe he's just doing it to get a little bit of feria here and there every now and then.
The reason why I'm asking, he was 263 when he fought that fight against King Kong. Tomorrow
King
he's
Kong.
coming in at 274.5.
Yes.
Tomorrow, so he's
Yes.
coming in 10 pounds overweight. You got
Mm.
Miller coming in at, I believe, 310 or 304, 304,
Mhm.
310, I believe. They weighed in earlier today. The weigh-ins are going to be right now at 6 o'clock your time, the
Mm.
official, but they already weighed in.
Right.
So you're going to see a fatter Andy Reese and probably some little bit leaner Miller. I got Andy Reese by knockout. I think Andy Reese, I mean, he's a proven world champion. And I agree with you, Mikey. He's been down. He might be down one or twice on this fight, but I got him. The one that I would like to see him get a revenge on is Parker. not Joshua. I would like to see him Parker because Parker's on a winning streak after this fight. But I got Andy by knockout on this one.
I want to combat what you're saying a little bit, David. He's a
Mhm.
proven world champion because he upset
Well,
Anthony Joshua.
well, I mean, he upset Anthony Joshua. I mean,
But
that's a proven world champion for one
okay,
fight. We'll call him
yeah.
one fight wonder. We'll call him a one fight wonder. But before Anthony Joshua, I remember going to see probably 5 of his fights before Anthony Joshua there in LA. I saw him probably
Mhm.
about 5 times, and I'm telling you, he fought guys bigger than Miller, and he would knock them out. Russians, blacks. I mean, I saw him. He's a damn good boxer. He really is. He's a good
Yeah,
boxer,
athletes.
but is he? He's a good athlete, but is he going to show ring rust? Yes, he is. He's going to show ring rust, but I still have him because I have Baby coming in at 310. Dude, a 12-round fight, he's going to get tired. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. And Andy can move around. Andy does have footwork. I mean,
Mhm.
he's a heavy middleweight. I mean, the way he moves and hits, this guy's not going to be able to keep up with him. So he's going to end up knocking him out. I don't
Okay,
see Miller lasting 10 or 12 rounds. I see him gassing out because he's going to have
oh,
to be chasing Andy around. It's not going to be a
okay,
1-for-1. He's going to chase him.
o- okay. But let's also remember Miller. While he's coming in at 310, he's actually dropped weight since
Yes,
his
he has.
last fight.
Yes, he has. That's what I
Okay,
said.
okay.
He dropped some weight. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Where Andy, he's gonna be the smaller guy, but he's actually gained weight since his last fight. So I mean, I think it's a pretty even fight, man. I like the fight. Miller, I was actually becoming a big fan of Miller, and I was really looking forward to the fight with him and Anthony Joshua. I think he was gonna be in New York quite a few years ago, and then he started testing positive, and I was just like, damn, man, I was really becoming a big fan of this dude, man. So we'll see what happens. The whole thing with Andy Ruiz, yeah, he's thinking about avenging his loss to Parker. Let me throw it around just real quick before we move on to the next fight. Why do you think there is no talks for a trilogy? Andy Ruiz, everybody knows him because he beat Anthony Joshua. At the time, Anthony Joshua was like the guy, is before his losses to Usyk and all that. And then Anthony Joshua comes back and then beats Andy Ruiz. Yet, no hype, no talks, no nothing about, hey, let's do it. The trilogy, the rubber match. Let's find out who's the top dog between these two guys. David, what's your
I'll tell
thoughts?
you why. Because Andy Reese has been a borracho. Andy Reese, I
Okay.
mean, why not? He said it perfectly. Andy's been drinking, eating burritos the past 2 years. So he's
Mhm.
been a borracho. So now that he has a new wife, he has Lupillo Rivera's ex-wife. He just had a baby with her. So now, you know what? It's giving him motivation. It's giving him motivation. He needs money to support her. You know what I mean? So you know what? That's his motivation. If you know what, if it's a new woman, Lupio's ex-wife, and she's beautiful. If that's his motivation, dale gas. But why wasn't there a trilogy? He was too busy drinking and eating burritos. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Why no? Why no?
Yeah.
Why no? 707.
Hey, Demetrio, you're right. It's a risky trilogy for AJ,
Yes.
but you do that fight across the pond, that sucker sells out, man. That sucker will sell out and make some money. Mikey, why no trilogy, man? How come there's no hype? How come? Forget about the trilogy happening or not happening, but how come there's no hype? How come the boxing world isn't saying like, hey, we want to see these two guys go at it for the third time? Let's go. They're 1-1.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately Andy Reid's the last fight with the AJ, he came out like a fat pig, dude. It's just like
Yeah.
he disrespected the game. And he
Yeah.
got shut down. And then after that, he was inactive. And he needs to show us. Boxing's a show me. It's a show me sport. What have you
Exactly.
done for me lately? So he needs to
Yeah.
prove himself. Get a
I
this
know.
fight's a great fight for both of these gentlemen fighting Reese and Big Baby Miller, because that
Yeah.
will take it to the next level. And eventually, the big heavyweights man, Takery Ali Sheik is giving people the bag, and he'll make that fight. He'll definitely
Oh
make
yeah.
that fight. If Andy Reese looks sensational, he gets a knockout, and he beats Parker, or he fights the Asian dude, the Big Zhang, or something like that, and definitely they'll make that fight. The rumbles will be, people will be talking about it. But Andy needs to shine. Andy needs to shine. He can't look all right. He can't come overweight and barely win and all that. It's a waste of time because of what he done and how he fought versus AJ the second time. So if he shows it, Trust me, they're gonna talk about it, and Turkey Al
I
Sheik will be about it. He'll do that fight, man.
I
Oh yeah,
agree with you 100%, Mikey. 100%.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Andy needs to take it more serious and needs to be going after AJ. AJ doesn't need to go after him. He needs to go after AJ. AJ has been active. He's been doing his thing, and Andy needs to. But apparently Andy wants to go after Parker, which is fine. You know, that's a fight that he lost.
That's a
But
hard fight, man.
I
I just find it weird. I just find it weird that the boxing world just doesn't. You don't want to see a trilogy. There's no hype, and I include myself in that too.
well,
I'm
Ed,
not really that
We
Ed,
hyped
forgot,
either.
Ed. We totally
everybody
forgot
forgot
about him.
about him. He's been drinking. I mean, he's been partying. I mean,
He moved
literally,
on.
people forgot about him. People from we.
He moved on.
I thought he had retired. Literally, I thought he had
Yeah,
retired. We hadn't heard from
Yeah.
him. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. El Pachuco, Miller fought earlier this year, man. He lost.
Yeah, he got
He
knocked
lost,
out.
but yeah, but he fought earlier this year, guys. All right, let's move
He
on,
got
man.
knocked out, Mikey. He got knocked
Yeah, by
out.
Yeah,
the ball, they stopped him, right? The
he
ball
got
stopped him.
he got stopped. He got stopped, but he did
He
not
got
knocked
stopped.
Wow.
out. Yeah, yeah, he
Wow.
got
Okay,
stopped. Yeah,
but he
by
got dropped
Dubois.
a couple times, right? Something like that. I forgot. He got
Yeah,
dropped a
I
couple
forgot.
times.
It was yeah, especially towards the end, he was
The
gassed
Bucks.
out. But he was
Yeah,
gassed out, like you said, David. But he's coming in like almost 30 pounds lighter. So guys, let's talk about the fight where people are saying this is gonna be the best fight of the night. Pitbull Cruz against Rayo Valenzuela. This fight is action packed, man. I mean, damn it, I love this fight,
Me too.
and I'm gonna agree with the rest of the boxing world generally when they say this is gonna be the best fight, the fight that steals the card, man. Mikey, how you say about Pitbull Cruz, the smallest 140-pound champion there is right now, man, against El Rayo?
hey, that's a good fight. Rayo's training with Robert Garcia. He's looking good. He's got power, southpaw. Rayo doesn't go backwards. He comes forward. But I think I got Pitbull Cruz, man. Pitbull Cruz got hit by Tank Davis. Nothing happened. So you gotta figure out. You gotta earn your shot versus Pitbull Cruz. You don't punch. You don't hit him with flush shots. You gotta do fintas and set it up. Does Rayo have the IQ to do it? I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's going to be a great fight, man. Fireworks. No, they're not going backwards, man. And there's going to be volados. Rayos. I don't. Unfortunately, Rayo doesn't have the best defense, but he does have the game changer as a power shot. So, oh man, I like this fight, man. And they don't like each other, but I give Pitbull the edge. I got Pitbull on this one. Viva Mexico, cabrones. Vámonos.
Damn,
Yeah.
David.
You know what? I got Rayo on this one. And the reason why I have
What?
Rayo, you know what? He's with not because of Robert, but because of Big G. Dude, Big G has been
Wow.
coaching this guy. He's a new Rayo. Not only is Big G there, but Robert Garcia, plus their trainer. I forgot his name. I always watch him when I watch Robert Garcia's shows. Every time Ali Setback is there, there's one guy there that does the physical agilities for them.
The
That
ball
does,
dude.
do, yeah, I don't know, the little ball headed white guy.
Yeah, I
I'll
forgot
tell
his
you,
name.
that guy, he's good. He's good, and he's completely he has a whole new team, man. The Benavides ain't part of that team anymore. He has a
Yeah.
whole new team. I see Rayo. I'm hoping he gets a knockout. I like Pitbull, but I see Rayo. You know what? I want Rayo to win by knockout. I want Rayo to win by knockout. I don't know if you knew this or not, Ed, but he was actually preparing for the Los Santos. He wants the payback on the Los Santos. He wanted the payback on Colbert, and he came in, and it was a knockout of the year last year. It should have been knockout of the year.
Right,
So you know
right.
what? This kid, he has it. He had Benavides' father training him. You know what I mean? I mean, now
Yeah.
he has a whole new team, and I see a brand new Rayo, and I see a world champion. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And uh, Pitbull's 5'4", Rayos is 5'9". I mean, that does going to make a difference. Plus, you know what? What I've been seeing, I got Rayo by knockout. I hope so, by knockout.
Wow,
Okay.
wow. Okay. So I was there. I was there when De Los Santos took out Rayo. I was just like,
Oh,
wow. You know what?
yeah.
When I saw that, I remember telling you guys, hey man, I'm not sure if this kid's gonna come back. You know,
I know. Yep.
sometimes that takes a fighter away, and they never come back the same. Rao has been able to bounce back, man. And the whole thing with Colbert, you're right, David. When he came back, man, that knockout was vicious, man.
Yes, it
I
was.
like Rayon. The kid's got
Mhm.
heart. He's got fight. He's got skills. I've been seeing the whole the zones of him getting. I don't know what they call it anymore. I remember HBO used to call it 24/7 or whatever. Showtime used to call it All Access. I don't know what all these other. I think 40 Days is what it's called. I'm not even really sure, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. It shows behind the scenes,
Yeah.
them training. This kid, look, you want to find a confident young man? That's Rayo. He is confident. He is training. He is all up in it, homie.
Yeah.
All that being said, I think Pitbull's gonna give him the business.
We'll
And
see.
Ed, we
We'll
can't forget
see.
I
Rayo's a
do. I,
135 pounder.
that's true.
Is he moving up
That's
to 140? Is it going to
Yeah, but
transition? His
hey,
power.
hey, but so was Pitbull.
And
Pitbull was a
he
135
knocked out
pounder.
Rolly. He
Bro,
knocked
he
out Rolly,
went
so his
up.
power did
He went up.
transition.
He
Yeah,
went up.
and he knocked out
uh,
Rolly.
Right. Yes. So this
he's
guy's
So
he.
going up just like Pitbull.
Well, hold
yeah,
on,
what if
David.
his punch doesn't transition though?
Well, wait, hang
We'll
on,
see.
hang on. My Mikey made a good point, man. Pitbull went up, win weight, and knocked out world champion
World
Rolly
champion Rolly.
Romero, man.
Hey, Mikey,
Call him
show
Rolly,
everybody your
son, but he is a
tattoo.
big
Mikey.
kid.
Hey, Mikey, show everybody your tattoo of Rolly. Show everybody your tattoo of Rolly, Mikey.
Aquí está, dice Rolly, una calavera.
Órale,
Está
Mikey.
muerto.
Okay, but look, okay. I mean, he
Uh,
fought Rolly. In all seriousness, how much credit do you really give him for beating Rolly Romero?
no credit.
I
No
don't give
credit.
him any
No
credit,
credit.
man. And by the way, Pitbull Cruz is not fighting a 240 pounder. Mikey, you're right. This is Rayo moving up in weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure how good Pitbull does against real true 140 pounders. I'm not so sure how good he does. I give him a good shot, depending on who he's fighting. I do give him a good shot, but we don't know how his power transitions at 140 pounds. And we're still not going to know after this fight because Rayo is 135 pounder moving up. So once Pitbull starts fighting a couple of true 140 pounders, then we'll know like, okay, you know what? Pitbull is all
Yeah.
about it at 140. So
Yeah,
I got Pitbull because I
I
think
got it.
Rayo, yeah, so do I. I think he doesn't have a neck. Pitbull does not have a neck. He's like a ninja turtle, man. And
Yeah.
Rayo every now and then he sticks his little chinny chin chin out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it's a shorter guy, that uppercuts can come upwards, and Pitbull doesn't really throw many jabs, man. He'll just come, pow, hit that chin, and I don't see it going the distance. I don't, man. Shout out to Rayo, though. Shout outs to Rayo. So, Mikey, you got Pitbull?
I got Pitt, man. I got Pitt. Oh yeah.
David, you got.
Rayo by knockout. Late rounds. Late
Wow.
rounds.
Oh,
Wow.
damn. This one's going to hurt you, David. That one's going to hurt you, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're,
Push ups.
you're not
Push
going to.
it.
You're not gonna be able to see.
It's called
You're not
blind
gonna.
loyalty. It's called blind loyalty because you know what? I see that this guy has a whole new team, and you know what? He has heart. He has heart, man.
He does. He does.
Yeah, he has heart.
Definitely has heart. Guys, let's move on to the main event. Israel Madrimov against Terrence Bud Crawford. Not too many people know who Madrimov is. This is, I think, only his 12th fight. He looks good. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys like I really know all about him, but I started looking into him more. He's got an amateur career. These guys, these Eastern European guys, you already know about them, man. When you talk about Lomachenko, Usyk, shoot, Better Beef, Bivol, all these Eastern European guys, man. He's one of those dudes, that just sleeps, eat, breathes boxing, and lives a clean life. Doesn't part. And to be fair, so does Bud. So does Bud.
Yes,
Bud
he
Crawford
does.
does not drink. He doesn't stay up late. He doesn't party. He doesn't do anything like that. Madrimov, same thing. These Eastern Europeans, man, they're very, very disciplined, like from another world, Holmes. These guys are so disciplined. It is crazy. David, what do you make about this main event here? Is Crawford in trouble?
No, no, I think it's. I don't think he's in trouble, but I think he needs to look good if he wants a Canelo fight. I mean, he's only going up 7 pounds for
Right.
this fight. To fight Canelo, he's going up 14 pounds plus the 7 pounds he just went up, 21 pounds. From 147. So he needs to look good. Can he look good? I think so. I think he'll look good. Is he going to get clipped a couple of times? Most definitely. Is he going to be challenged? Most definitely. But I got Crawford by decision.
Okay. All right. Uh, Mikey, it's been a long time, man. Crawford has looked spectacular for a long time. People forget that he's actually been dropped in his career before. Do we see
Mhm.
something similar like that tomorrow?
Yeah, he can get dropped, dude. This guy's awkward. His boxing style, he switches stands and he's awkward. He can't get rocked. He got rocked by Mean Machine. He's been rocked by
Yeah.
Gumbo. He's been rocked before.
Mhm.
Crawford doesn't have 100% defense. Like it's not. He does get hit. So if he gets hit, but this guy's strong, man. He's strong, but he's awkward. I think Crawford's skills is gonna take care of him. Crawford's accuracy is his power gonna move up. We saw Benavidez' power not move up. Is Crawford gonna his power gonna move up? Maybe not, but he's still precise. The skills is gonna beat him. The jab, Murdoboff, he puts his hands down, and you can't do that versus Crawford. A sharpshooter, technician, you can't do that. Either he's gonna get dropped or hurt with a shot he doesn't see. Although I don't think his power is gonna transition. Crawford's a little guy, skinny dude, but the science behind the shots, he still will rock him or hurt him and keep him off him. The jab is the key for Crawford, and staying to your fundamentals, and taking little steps back, little steps to the side, because this guy's a little awkward and he switches stands and shoots shots. While he's switching, boom, he throws to the body, boom, he throws shots. And he's a short dude, but he's buff, dude. And he's in his weight class. So I'm gonna give it to Crawford. I don't even know if it's knockout though. I don't know. But I'm gonna give it to Crawford because of the skill. Crawford, and this guy keeps his hands down, and I don't like that, especially versus Crawford. I'm gonna give it to Crawford.
Well,
And you know what, Ed, let me just add real quick. You know what? I don't think we've seen the best of Crawford yet. I I I, I
really?
I do not believe, Marky. Do you agree with me? I
Yeah,
don't think
I
we've
agree.
seen the best of Crawford yet, and I think
Yeah,
tomorrow
I'll
we're
explain
going to
that.
see another side of Crawford that we don't even know exists. Look against Errol Spence. I mean,
Benavidez,
I
Errol
mean,
Spence.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I don't think he's been challenged. Yeah,
he hasn't fought somebody that's been in,
Wow.
in, in their prime. Errol Spence came out of a car accident and his eye was messed up. Benavidez
exactly.
got shot.
Yeah,
Who else did he fight?
yeah.
Spence. No, not Spence. Porter. Porter was one step in the banana peel, one on a retirement. Like he hasn't fought somebody that's been in his prime, solid, young, undefeated fighter. This guy's a champion, and his weight class. It's a great test, man. It's a great test.
It is.
He can choke, man. He can get
Uh,
hurt.
Yeah.
But I believe in the
okay.
skills. I believe
All
in the
right.
skills.
Oh, okay. Okay, man. Let me come in here, man. All right.
All right,
Look,
all right.
if if you're 36 and you have not shown your best, then you know what? Your career has been all off, man. Your career is all
No,
off. Well, come on, David. You're
He's
36
38,
years old.
no?
no,
No,
36. I know, but
36?
I mean,
he,
I
he
just don't
hasn't.
think that he's been challenged enough. I mean, he was undisputed at 140, undisputed at 147, but he would only fight like once a year, once every 2 years. I mean, he's not like
And
a Virgil Ortiz. You know what I mean? Virgil
right.
Ortiz wants to fight 3 times this year.
Hmm.
It's a different era, I believe. It's a different era, but I think
Okay.
tomorrow he's going to be challenged. Yeah,
And that is exactly what I was going to bring up is the fact that Terrence Crawford, all this, hey man, he's number one pound for pound, number one. That's fine. I don't care. I don't really care about pound for pound lists. I'll make a video on that on another one. But a dude that doesn't fight and fights
Yeah,
once a year,
yeah.
it's tough, man. It's tough to be
Mhm.
like, hey, you know what? He's the best. Well, I mean, what about the dudes that are fighting two, three, four times a year? Um, and he's 36. How about that, Mikey? You know what? Let me throw it
yeah.
to you on that one, Mikey.
Father-
You said it. Fighters can age overnight. Now, Madrimov, he's 29. He's young. He's in a man's prime. A man's prime is 29 to what, 32 or something like that. where Crawford is already kind of on the late stages on it, and he's fighting a guy who's just as disciplined, if not more disciplined, than Terrence Crawford.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You could get old overnight, man. Father of Time's undefeated, and this guy's training with Joel Diaz. Joel Diaz has game plans. He had a game plan versus Canelo when he had Bivol. So yeah, this is a great fight for Crawford. Yeah, Murderbout hasn't been. We don't really know who he is, but man, Joel Diaz got them Russians, man. He's got them Russians. Terence Crawford's, man. Stick to your fundamentals, stick to your jab, and stay disciplined, and he'll win this fight with skills. But if he gets out of character and this guy overwhelms him because of youth, he could be in trouble, man. Yeah, I agree with
Now,
you, Ed.
Ed, now,
Yeah.
Ed, let me tell you, I want Madripoff to win. I want
Wow.
him to win. The reason why I don't see him winning, that's why I'm giving it to Crawford, but I
Mhm.
want him to win. And the reason why is because Crawford, all he's thinking about is the payday right now with Canelo. If
Mhm.
Madripoff wins and Virgil Ortiz wins next week against this other guy, Bakarov, whatever his name is, now I see
Roger.
that being a fight. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I see
Yes.
that being a fight. So that's why I want Crawford to lose. Crawford's 36. He's already proved what he was in the past, what he is today. But I would like a new champion to fight Virgil Ortiz because I don't see Crawford winning and then going to see Canelo, and then the belt's going to be held frozen like it did at 147. Same thing's going to happen. But if Madripoff wins, we're sure we're going to see Virgil Ortiz or the winner of that fight.
Okay. Okay. Mikey, you have to bet everything you have on it. How does this fight end?
I'm gonna stick it to skills. Skills pay the bills, man.
Yeah.
Crawford's got skills. I love his fundamentals. I like his jab. I like Crawford, man. I like Crawford, and a great little man always beats a good little man. So he's gonna fight no, I mean a great little man beats a good big man, and I'm gonna go for the little man. I'm gonna go for the little man because of the jab and the boxing skills. But it's a dangerous fight, and it's a great fight, man. I'm gonna watch it definitely. I got Crawford.
Okay. David, same question. Let me just put it out there. This is the first time Crawford has fought at this weight class. He's never been hit by a 154 pounder,
Yeah.
and he's been inactive. It's been just a little over a year since his last fight. But you have to bet your whole house, man. How does this fight end?
Ditto. Everything Mikey said, I'm
Okay.
with him 100%. Ditto. I can't add any more, man. Everything he said, 100%.
Wow, man. All right. You know, David, I'm kind of with you, man. I think it would shock the boxing world if Madrimov wins. And I
Oh,
kind
I
of like
wish.
that idea. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea. So I'm gonna be rooting for Madrimov. I got nothing against Terrence Bud Crawford, except for the fact that he doesn't stay active. That's one thing. I like watching him fight. When he fights, I'm a fan. And but that's only one time, once a year, you know. So that's one thing I don't like about it. But hey, man, with that, the weigh-ins, the ceremony weigh-ins are is underway. I'm gonna go ahead check it out. Man, this was fun, fella. It's great to be back, Holmes.
Um,
It's great
Oh
to
yeah.
hey,
be
now
back.
next week, Ed, next week we're going to be talking about the Virgil Ortiz fight. So I can't
Oh yeah.
wait
Absolutely.
till next Friday, brother. I can't wait till next Friday. It's going to be a great show, man. Yeah.
Hey man,
Oh yeah.
hey, that is one Mr. David Contreras, a gran chingon, mero mero, the boxing scientist, Mikey Zavala
Scientist.
from Mikey TV, Cholo Trucker, whatever you guys do this weekend. Be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. Enjoy the fights. Catch you guys on the next round.
All right, gentlemen.